I mean, when I was thinking about trading the Africa Twin, I was thinking about a bunch of different bikes. You know, one of them was the KTM 390. Being a data nerd, the first thing I did was make a spreadsheet. I worked in an accounting firm for a few years in the 90s, and one of the things I learned was how to work with spreadsheets. Shout out to Ian of Big Rock Moto, who created a spreadsheet on mid-size adventure bikes. If that's what you're looking for, be sure to look for the Big Rock Moto video of bike comparisons. I wanted to put the brands down the side and the specs across the top so I could sort the different specs. This list is sorted by weight with the Africa Twin at 534 and the Honda XR 150L at 287 pounds. I also compared seat heights since I knew what the Africa Twin felt like at 33.5. My friend has a DRZ 400, which at 36.8 felt too tall for me. After I sold the Africa Twin, I knew I was going to buy a dual sport, so I narrowed down the list. Now I included my old Yamaha DT175 because that gave me a benchmark, even though it was my first street legal bike over 40 years ago. I also kept the Africa Twin on the list for comparison purposes. Finally, I made a short list of bikes for sale in the local market. A couple of these only had 1 or 2 examples available, but there were a few CRF 250Ls and Kawasaki KLX 250s available. By this point, I was sure I was going to buy a used bike, so I had to go with what was available. Here's how things look when I'm shopping on Craigslist. Searching for a 250L, I find nothing local, and one bike that's in the US, which is not an option. If I search for a 300L, I find only new bikes. Looking for a KLX 250, I find one that's a 2007 model. It's a bit pricey, but with very low mileage. Looking for a KLX 300, again, I find only new bikes at dealers. However, Facebook Marketplace is a totally different thing. If I look at Facebook Marketplace, I find quite a few Honda 250Ls. I don't like Facebook Marketplace because the search results are vague. They also turn up 250X, which is not street legal, and other CRF models. Also, it shows me results that are on Vancouver Island, 2 ferry rides away. I get similar results for the KLX 250. So, here's my new to me bike. It's a Honda 250L 2018 model. It's got 20,000 kilometers on the clock, but everything is stock. I didn't want an upgraded muffler because I like quiet. But lots of fun. Wow. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about that is not being able to see if there's a rock or something. Now here, got sandy. This is actually, somebody's been through here quite a bit. I think it's more rutted last time I came up. You know, I came up here on the Africa Twin, but got up to about here and said, I don't know if I like this. came here once on the Africa Twin. And I first put some 50-50 tires on after having 80-20 just to try it out. It's got it all. There's also a pass through there. Lighter bike is easier, but still requires a certain amount of skill that I'm not at yet. Easy peasy. This is where the weight makes a big difference. Woohoo! This video was created in part with funds from the Teachers' Pension Plan of British Columbia. I contributed while I worked, and my employer contributed, so the investment provides me with some income in retirement. The taxpayers are no longer involved. Go ahead and like or subscribe, or don't. After a couple of decades of teaching teenagers, I'm used to being ignored.